Hello everybody, welcome back. It feels so good to be filming again. Later on in the video I will talk to you more about why I was absent for a little bit, but today we are going to be getting to know the Unleashed palette from Tarte. I'm going to go through and talk to you about the shades and the best way to use those types of shades, and then we are going to do a tutorial with them. So in this palette, it's really cute. If you are on this channel, I am cruelty-free. And so this palette says young, wild, and cruelty-free on it. It's like one of those colors, those picture changing things. It looks really cool. So that is super fun. The shades in here are absolutely gorgeous. I'm really into these. I'm really eyeing these ones here at the bottom. They're kind of pink tones. I mean, it's not the most unique neutral kind of tone palette, but it kind of is because it has a lot of the shades that I think everyone's kind of looking for, and this shade Oh Dear is something that I am really excited to test out and to see how it works. So let's go in here and check and see. I'm gonna go ahead and dust off the top just really quick. This is my palette and I'm not gonna use it on anyone else. I'm just gonna go ahead and go if you're not gonna use it up your palette on anyone else, you can go ahead and do that. That's your own choice. But if you are, just go ahead and get one of those like computer dusting things, and you can lightly spray any of the things just to see which ones are actually matte. So let's go through here and see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 absolutely true matte shades, and then there are 2 with a little bit of shimmer. This Swan Song and Camouflage. They are like matte. So the Camouflage is like a matte with like a gold glitter to it, and then the Swan Song is like a very light, almost matte satin. Okay, and then we have just some shimmers. There's not really any foils or anything. They're all really interesting. Some of them may work better with water than others. Yeah, let's go ahead and try this Hawkward. I think it says Hawkward. That's this one right here. I'm gonna go ahead and try it with a brush and some water. So I'm gonna dip my brush into this Awkward. I'm not sure exactly how to say that. That's just me being awesome. So I'm sprayed it a little bit. Yeah, it does work better with a little bit of water. I just used Smashbox water. And then we have some like, this one's really pretty. Iguana Love You is really pretty. And then we have Hypocritical, which is the one I'm really excited about. And then we have Your Lion and Monkey Business. So this one is probably the one you're gonna have the most finickiness with. The other ones will be just fine. But my tip to you with trying to pick up a shimmer, sometimes just swiping like this is what everyone does. And you're not going to get as much payoff with that when you do it that way. So to get the best payoff with a shimmer is to swipe it this way, like back and forth instead of swiping, and you will get the most. So I'm going to go ahead and do it really quick on the back of my hand here. Just going to do it like right here. So this is with a swipe, 2 swipes, and you can see the difference of pigment on that one. And then I'm going to go ahead, switch my brush around, but I've been wiping it off and swiping across like this, and just to see the difference in payoff of picking it up in the different ways of you can see. So that's just another way to play with those kinds of shadows, and we're gonna go ahead and do a tutorial to see if there's any fallout or anything like that with this. But you can see that I am all like swatched up the wazoo here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my washcloth. Don't forget to grab your washcloths, everybody. If you are new to my channel, I use a new washcloth well, not every time. I use a washcloth every time I use do my makeup. I have something to wipe my hands off with. I wipe my brushes off in here. You can see all the difference in it, and it just works wonders. It's better than a color switch. I highly recommend it. You can wash these. I have quite a bit of rags. I've said before I'm going to link the ones, but this video I really will. I will link all the rags, not all the rags. It's just from, they're called Amazon Basics, and I just got purple because I like purple. You could get white, you could bleach them, whatever. Everything seems to come out just fine. I don't know if it's just because it's like a little bit of a darker color so you can't see much staining, but that's what I do. So we're going to go ahead and prime our eyes with our NYX eyeshadow base. This is the skin tone color one. I'm just going to use a flat top brush here and prime my lids with that. Okay, so while we're priming and everything, I'm going to tell you. So I was gone for about 2 weeks. I didn't post any videos or anything because I got a massive sun blister cold sore on the top of my lip, and I wasn't going to put any makeup on. I didn't want to transfer anything to my makeup brushes or any products, so I did not wear any makeup for that 2 weeks. And it was really funny, in that 2 weeks my eyebrows got absolutely crazy, and I didn't pluck them or anything because normally every time I do my makeup I'm checking to see if there's any new arrivals in my eyebrow. And yeah, and then also I forgot that my nephew was coming into town, and so we hung out with him and played and had a lot of game nights and stuff. So man, a lot of stuff happened. I was going to take a picture of my lip just to show you, but it was pretty bad, and I just was like, maybe some people don't really want to see how disgusting my lip really got. It was just like, it was sun blister cold sores. It's not a real technical thing, but it kind of, to me it kind of is, because you get one after you've been in the sun and you didn't apply like chapstick or anything or sunscreen to your lips or whatever. And so it was just like a cold sore, but it was just like a blister because it got super big. So it was like a sun blister cold sore. Okay, so before we go into it, I'm going to take the powder that I used to set my foundation with, and I'm going to do what I do. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to do it. And I'm going to take my powder that I used on my face. This is just the NYX Brighten Up Banana powder. And I'm going to do what I call is baking my brows. I have a slightly hooded eye, and I don't like to get anything too far up, which makes it so everything kind of just makes my eyelid or my top lid, my brow bone, whatever, look a little bit heavier. So I like to make sure that I always have space up here so nothing ever gets blended up too far. I'm gonna go in with the shade that's actually calling my name and like I'm most attracted to right now. I'm gonna take Oh Dear. I've been looking for a shade like this. I thought it was going to be in like the cherry, the Naked Cherry from Urban Decay, but I don't think that it was exactly what I was looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and place this into the crease, kind of like a transition, but also like our base crease color, and really blend this all the way through. This is actually looking pretty good. Actually, this palette smells very sweet. I don't understand why they're putting fragrance into eyeshadows now. It's fine, do what you do, and it doesn't really bother me too much. It's not like it stays on your face and lingers, but I don't think it's necessary. Okay, so I'm just really blending this all the way through, all the way to the inner corner, because I really think that this shade looks really, really pretty. And I'm going to go ahead and do that on the other eye. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take, I think it's Qualified. Yeah, I'm not sure. So that's the shade I'm going to take. Then, so, And I'm going to take it on like a detail crease brush. This is the one from Steel. It's number 2 brush. And I'm going to go ahead, make sure the camera's focused, and place this really close to the lash line. And then dust my brush off and then just kind of bring it up into the outer corner. And just continuously work that through. I'm going to go ahead and do that on the other side. Alright, so that is qualified in the crease. Now I gotta kind of spice it up a little bit because I feel like I am getting a little bit kind of bruised look almost. Vertical shade, the one I was talking about, the nice light pink shade, and just dip my brush into there. Swiping, of course, and I'm gonna place this on the center because it's freaking gorgeous. Picking up as I go, blending it. Now I'm going to take some of it on my little brush. This is just a, I don't remember what it is, but I got it in a BoxyCharm. The name is rubbing off, so I'm going to take this and then kind of put a little bit here on the edge where the two meet, and I'm going to just take my brush on the very end of the handle and then just lightly kind of swipe the brush back and forth so it blends together. I'm going to do the same on the other eye. So that is both of the eyes finished with the hypocritical shade. Now I'm going to take 2 shades I'm going to mix. I just realized that a lot of all these shades are a play on words with animals. So there's Swan Song, Oh Dear, Hypocritical, Bare Necessities, and Qualified. 2 Can Do It, No Fox Given, Iguana Love You, Irrelevant, Totally, You're a Lion, Monkey Business, Camouflage, and Awkward, and Party Animal. So that was kind of funny. So I'm going to take Swan Song, and I'm just going to use the same brush that I used with the other shade, and I'm going to place this on the inner corner. But then I'm going to go in with the shade Irrelevant. So Swan Song and Irrelevant. And I'm going to put Irrelevant on top of Swan Song and kind of sandwich them together to change the shade of that, to change the tone of those shades. So before we do any concealing, I'm going to go ahead and do our lower lash line, and I'm going to take the color probably Camouflage. Now this is kind of a neutral look that I did. It's very pink toned, but it is what it is. Because I want a little bit of a shimmer kind of more into the inner corner, I'm going to take Your Lion and just kind of place this here on the inner corner. So that's what I do. We need some shimmer. Shimmer and shine. Okay, now I'm going to take Swan Song, finish the brow off, and then we will move on with our final thoughts. Okay. I need a bigger, fatter brush for my brow bone, apparently. It'll help blend everything more seamlessly. This is a big fat brush from Coastal Scents. Talked about them in the past. They're pretty good. Pretty good. Coastal Scents was like a Morphe and BH Cosmetics. BH Cosmetics and Coastal Scents used to be. I think Coastal Scents has kind of since changed what they do now, but I would still recommend their brushes. They're pretty freaking phenomenal. I have a blush brush that I got from them that I absolutely love. One of my most favorite blush brushes. Alright, so I'm going to finish the eyes and the rest of the face, and then we will be right back with our final thoughts and talks about it. Oh, right. So the recap on this palette is I would definitely check it out, especially if you're a cruelty-free YouTuber or makeup lover. Whatever. You don't have to be a YouTuber. I would definitely check it out because actually I was thinking about it. It's not exactly like every other nude palette you've ever seen. There are pinks in here. There are oranges in here. There are reds. There are blues. And there are definitely shades options to get to make it very, very wearable, but also make it very, very fun. So you can make something in here and make it so crazy bold and beautiful, and people wouldn't even know that it's from this palette. But you've got your dark brown, you've got a nice, this could be pulled off as just a nice crease shade. It doesn't, you don't really have to think about that shimmer because it's not really going to show up at all the, it's not going to be super prominent anyway. And then you have this shade, which is actually perfect. It's not a perfectly matte white, but it's a perfect highlight shade, inner corner shade. It's really, really perfect. And I actually highly recommend this because it's Tarte quality shadows, and Tarte makes actually really good shadows. I know some people are like, I don't think that they do, but they're up there with like Urban Decay. This is a phenomenal palette. I love it. I love Tarte shadows. I've kind of been a collector of them for a while. As I was collecting stuff to do for this video, I realized I was like picking a lot of Tarte things. So I'm thinking I'm a Tarte snob, but that doesn't change my opinion about this, whether it's good or bad. But I just love that it says young, wild, and cruelty-free. I think that that actually is a good selling point for me also. And it's unleashed and everything, all the names are like animal themed, and I just think it's gorgeous. So if you did like this video, if you thought it was very helpful, this is kind of like my first impressions. This is getting to know this palette, testing out the shades, learning about the shades in here, learning about this palette. It's not a first impressions because I'm not going to tell you. You're giving it a fair shot. Now I'm thinking of starting this off with just now I'm thinking of doing this with mostly eyeshadow palettes, but we can do with other things. If you guys have any questions about things that you want me to try, to actually test out, to make work, to figure out how it works, if you have something that you're like, I don't know how to make this work, what can I do? Let me know. If it's cruelty free, I will buy it. If not, I think that probably I won't try it. And yeah, I highly recommend this palette. I do recommend picking it up, especially for the cruelty-free community, and it's super fun, beautiful, and thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did like this video, if it was helpful to you in any way, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you did like this video and you want to see more such as this, go ahead and subscribe, because then you won't miss out. Although you might, because YouTube is kind of within this kind of shuffle. There's like a scramble, because like there's like freaking so many YouTube channels. Some of them that aren't even active. It's great news. Anyhow, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.